Hi, I'm Charmalene from Hyacinth's Kitchen.
I'm Jani David from Busters. Cooking is for me is passion,
And cooking with love provides food for the soul. I've been passionate about cooking since I was about 7 years of age.
Cooking and baking is something I really love to do. I have lined out 4 delicious recipes for you all.
I do hope that you'll be inspired to try out these recipes.
Try it out at home and let us know what you think.
This is my homemade.
Cooking is for me is passion. Cooking and baking is something I really love to do. Right now I'm full-time the owner of Busters. Join with me and Homemade and let us know what you think once you try that at home, because these are something that I make it at home for my family and friends as well as for my customers. Hi, welcome to Homemade episode for this week. I'm Jani David from Busters. Today we are going to make orange and cranberry muffins. Before I go through the ingredients with you all, let me just say about the dish. It's a very easy dish to make, and it's mainly something that you will like to have in the mornings, especially when you have some time on weekends, like on a Sunday morning. Let's just go through the ingredients right now. Dry ingredients, we have flour, just all-purpose flour, about 240 grams, and 90 grams of sugar, and 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of bicarbonate soda, and I have taken 2 types of spices, cinnamon and nutmeg. Nutmeg about 1/4 teaspoon, and about half a teaspoon cinnamon, half a teaspoon, or 1 if you like the taste of cinnamon. And we have about 150 grams of dried cranberries. This you can find nowadays in most of the supermarkets. So wet ingredients, we have 1 egg, about 120 ml milk, about 80 ml of melted butter, and about 70 ml of orange juice, and some orange zest. Orange zest, now I have taken about 3 oranges, but it depends on the taste that you want. Maybe about 2 would do. First of all, let's just mix the dry ingredients. We'll sift this through the sifter. First in the flour. When you are done with half of the flour through the sifter, you can add in the baking powder and the bicarbonate of soda. It's important that you sift this through so that if there's any lumps and all that, it'll all get cleared. And to this same thing, we will add in the spices. So that's the cinnamon and nutmeg, and also the sugar. Just a tip, so sugar sometimes if I don't have a lot of time to mix, what I do is I just put it in a blender and blend it so that we can just get it to much finer like a powder consistency, so then it's easier to mix. So keeping this aside, we'll just mix it through so that all the spices and the sugar, everything get mixed properly. And we'll keep this aside. we will do this separately, and then once the wet ingredient is ready, we will add in the dry ingredients to this. So mix in your milk to the orange juice. Add in the egg and the melted butter. Mix this a bit. Once there's a little bit bubbles coming in when the egg and the melted butter is kind of mixed together, then we add in the milk and the orange juice. So what you're looking for is like a pale color, consistent, and a little bit of bubble. So that's what we are looking for. And now we will get our dry ingredients. Mix in the orange zest to this. Just mix it through. And now the most important thing is in muffin is the mixing part. If you mix it too much, you will have like a dense, hard muffin. That's not what you want when it's come to muffin. It should be nice and soft. So what we will do is we will mix this through. We will just put in the wet ingredients. And the cranberries. Mix it just until it's just combined. Don't over mix it. If you over mix it, it's not gonna work. So don't worry if there's a little bit of flour here and there, that's perfectly fine. What you're looking at is something that is just mixed through. So this is what we are looking at. So once your batter is ready, once it's mixed, like I said, don't over mix. If there's a little bit of flour, just leave it like that. You can line in your muffin lines. Now I'm using silicone muffin lines, so because of that I don't need a muffin tin. But if you don't have this, that's perfectly fine. Just normal lines would do, muffin lines, and just you have to lay it on your muffin tin and then add in your batter. I prefer the silicone muffins because I think when it's baking, it has a good consistency as opposed to the paper muffin liners. So this batter will roughly make about 12 to 15 muffins. It depends on your muffin liners that you have. So just make sure. So don't put in a lot of batter into one cup. Just make sure that you just fill in up to about 3/4 level because we have put bicarbonate soda as well as baking powder to this, so you need to give it a little bit of space for it to rise as well. These are just, it's ideal for, like I said, for morning breakfast with a cup of coffee, as opposed to our usual breakfast, like weekdays people don't have time for their breakfast. They just have cornflakes or something on the way to office. They will have something. So something like this is really good, especially if you can make it your family on a Sunday. So once this goes in the oven, maybe about 15 to 20 minutes, you have to bake in. It's actually depending on your oven, so you have to probably, if you're making it for the first time, keep an eye on it, like maybe halfway through, so that you won't burn them. What you're looking for is a nice crusty top and soft, very soft inside. So if when you're making it for the first time, just halfway through, when you're like about 70% done with your usual timing that's I just told you, just use a toothpick and just insert it and see if it comes out clean, you're good to go to take it out. So this is ready to go in the oven. Probably in 15 minutes time, you are in for a treat. Okay, so mine took about 20 minutes. They are ready now. Muffins are good when it's hot for you to serve, and I can't wait to dig in, but it's quite hot, so you have to be very careful. So while it's just on the tray, let's make a cup of coffee so that we can enjoy our muffin with a cup of coffee. Okay, now's the best part. See, this is what I like about the silicone cups. It's easy. You can just take it out just like that. So this is what I was talking to you about. It should be nice and soft like that. It's quite hot. So when you break into it, can you see? This is what we are looking at. So it should be nice and soft. Now the best part, it's quite hot, so I'm just gonna have like a small tiny bite because I can't wait. So the best part of this muffin is it's not so sweet. So for morning, it's perfect and it tastes so good. Like I said, it's soft and mellow, and the secret for this is do not overmix your batter. And it's perfect with a cup of coffee. Sunday morning, you can give a nice treat to your family. Until next time, this is Jani. We'll see you on another episode of Homemade. Thank you.
I've been passionate about cooking since I was about 7 years of age, and I've been cooking for the last 20 years or more. I have named it after my two grandmothers, whom I have taken most of the recipes from. Hyacinth's Kitchen be a blessing to many more people through what I am doing right now. Hi, I'm Charmalene from Hyacinth's Kitchen, and today I'm going to show you how to make the Mongolian barbecue chicken rice. It's an individual portion. You need to prepare everything according to how an individual wants. The vegetables, the meat, everything is added as per the requirement of per plate. You can make it in a large quantity, but what I'm going to show you is how you make it for an individual person. First, I need the onions, chop it up and slice it fine. And you keep it on a side. Take the garlic that you require for one plate. This is the easiest way of cleaning a garlic. And you chop that fine. You can grind it or you can have it chopped. Keep that also, because you need to keep all your ingredients ready when you start making it. And take the ginger. You also need a few mushrooms. You need the carrot, the spring onion, the capsicum, the chicken. I will show you how to prepare that. All the vegetables should be cut likewise. If it's sliced, it should be sliced. If it's cubed, all the vegetables should be cubed so that it evenly cooks. Now I'm going to get the egg dosa ready. When you start cooking, everything has to be in order. I also need some coriander leaves, which need to be added last, so I shall keep it and add that last. Okay, so let's start the cooking process. First heat up the pan, and while the pan is heating up, I'm going to first dish out all that is required for that one plate. That's the rice. This is only what is required you add onto the plate. Then the vegetables. This is spring onion, the capsicum, the leeks, and including the chicken that is required for that plate, and the mushroom. Now into this I put a bit of the oil, not too much because you don't want it to be too oily. And once the pan, the oil gets heated up, you start with the onion. The ginger and the garlic that we chopped just now. You have to cook it till the onion turns translucent, and then you can add your chicken first. You can also use other meats as you like, but what I'm showing today is with the chicken. So now you add the rest of the vegetables. You first start with the mushroom, which needs a little more cooking time than the rest of the vegetables. The carrot, the capsicum, and the leeks. Add a little pepper and a little salt, because the sauces also bring in the salt. Now you need to just push the meats and the vegetables to the side, and you just beat up the egg a little. And once it starts to cook, you add the rest of the veggies and mix everything together. Now into this you need to add a little soya sauce, about a teaspoon, the oyster sauce, and the fish sauce. Stir it, mix it very well so that all get covered with the sauces. And this is kochi jam, which is one of my specialties. Kochi jam is one of the main ingredients I use when I make the Mongolian barbecue. It gives a nice, sweet, spicy taste without you having to add any other like sweetener or anything like that. Now finally, you add the spring onion and your rice. Just before you remove it from the fire, you add your coriander leaves. Mix it well. Finally, before you take the rice off the fire, you chop up your coriander leaves, not too small, just chop it up like that, and you sprinkle it on top, and there you have your Mongolian barbecue rice with chicken. So now I'm going to show you how to plate the Mongolian barbecue rice. You can finish it off with a sprig of coriander leaves, and that's my Mongolian barbecue rice. Right, so now I'm going to just have a taste of this. Yeah, the spiciness comes through and all the vegetables are cooked well. Not too overcooked, but just right. I do hope you enjoyed watching how to make the Mongolian barbecue rice, and I do hope you will join us on the next episode for more delicious recipes. This is my homemade.